But there's a couple in here, and you know who you are. I photographed her wedding when she got married back in 1984. Ever since 1984, Jerry and I have been like glue. We've had our ups and downs and so forth. But I want to share with you with the theme of Jerry never met a stranger, and that's the truth. I mean, they were all part of her life as far as she meet somebody, she was like as if she had known that person for years. So anyway, first time I took her camping, we went tent camping up in Twin Lakes, up in the Sierras. And she was bobbing around while I was setting up the tent. And I thought, you know, she'd be helping me at least finish it up. But I looked out around for the tent, I couldn't see her, didn't see her at all. I do know that she had on the camp stove, she had a big pot of water boiling. And I knew we brought up pasta and meatballs and so forth, things like that. When the priest got the tent set up, she came to me, she says, honey, we're having guests for dinner. I said, honey, we just got here. What squirrels are they? She said, oh no, we're having 6 people here for dinner. I couldn't believe it. But the point I'm just emphasizing is that her personality just bubbled all over, all the time. Just like her brother Dan, same way. Like 2 peas in a pod. But I wish she were here, but I do know she's enjoying this. And all your friends, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
I'm not going to be very formal about this, but we were very fortunate to have Al come in our family. The last 27 years, my sister Geri lived a happy life with Al. He was very, very good to my sister. My sister was very happy with Al. They did a lot of things together, as he says, just like normal people. They have up and downs, but he had more ups than downs. And my daughter and son-in-law, when they got married, they're sitting right over there. That's where it all began. It was love at first sight, I think, after 50 years. But anyway, at my daughter and son-in-law's wedding, they met, and after that, my sister lived a happy life, thanks to good old Al. And Al was very, very good. And Geri loved cars and old things, as you see. Over here, you'll see a picture of a Model A. In 1977, I think it was, I had a Model A, and a friend of mine asked me if somebody else wanted to buy a Model A. So Geri got the word of it, and I went over to Hunter Park. The car was sitting for 25 years in the garage. It hadn't been pulled out. So after Geri bought it, I went and towed it out of the garage, just like pulling a block. But everything was fine on it. And Geri got it running and fixed up. And she kept it quite a while. She sold it approximately 8-9 years ago. But she loved old things like that. If you've ever seen an apartment, it's chock full of things. And it was very nice of everybody coming here today. I see cousins and friends. It was very, very nice. Thank you.
I'm Cindy, one of Aunt Geri's nieces. I don't know how many of us there are. I lose count because now we have kids, and gosh, our kids have kids. But talking about Aunt Geri and never meeting a stranger, I remember as a little girl that we would have Thanksgiving or Christmas, and you never knew who Aunt Geri was bringing. She was always bringing somebody, and my mom would say, oh, put another place setting at the table because Aunt Geri's bringing a friend, and she always did. And they always had a story, but we never quite knew the whole story. It was somebody that she met at the store that lived under a bridge down the road, and you know, every holiday it might have been the same person at Thanksgiving, then it Right, I was. And one of these days, we're gonna see a lot of those pictures that Al's gonna dig out. Every so often, here would come Al with Aunt Geri, and he would bring a folder of pictures, and we would look at them, and there were pictures, oh, I remember when you took those 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And it was always nice to see, because, you know, Al always took pictures, and he, I think, photographed many of our weddings, and yeah, we thank you for that, Al.
I love your family.
Yeah,
I
we love you too, so, thank you for coming.
Hi, my name's Steve Turatola. I'm Al's nephew, and I've known Geri probably 25 or more years. At first, I was an executive with our company, doing quite well, and I would see her at family functions. I would see her at different places, usually connected with Al, and they seemed happy, and that was about all the thought I gave to it. And then about 10, 12 years ago, I began to go through a series of misfortunes. First, a serious health problem, later on a divorce, and later on the failure of our business. And those three things hit me pretty hard, kind of triple whammies. And all of a sudden, Geri showed up. First thing she does, she shows up with a whole van full of food that she'd gotten to Costco. She and my uncle had gotten to Costco. And totally surprised me. And after that, anything, I mean, I didn't ever ask. I didn't have to ask. It got to a point where it was almost like a job, getting up and trying to figure out ways to work to get things back together again, which ultimately I did. But Geri never asked for anything. She never waited to be asked. She just did it. And I have since found out that I wasn't the only one. She did that for a lot of people. So she had a way of finding people that needed her and then being there. And I loved her very much.
Well, I'm another one of the cousins. Al Truatola, his name and my name are the same, except I changed mine, I shortened it. Anyway, the real name Italian, Truatola, means three wheels, and I changed mine to Trullo, which means a little crazy in Greek. Anyway, we were invited, you know, to your house when you lived in that apartment in Long Beach, and I forgot what the occasion was, but I have never been to some doings like that where they had so much food that was, she had the moulignana, like Aunt Palmer used to make, which is eggplant and tomato sauce and mozzarella cheese, and she had spaghetti, lasagna, brajol, you name it, boy. And we ate like there's no tomorrow. And I told her, I said, you know something? I've been disappointed in love affairs, I've been disappointed in business affairs, but I've never been disappointed in a good meal. Boy, was she a cook. I mean, I don't know, did you help her?
Absolutely.
I took a picture of you guys standing up there in your balcony from downstairs, and I think you still got that, but you know, she's been out to visit our house that we have at the beach a couple of times, more than 2 or 3 times, and she says, you know, if I was your boyfriend or your husband, she says, I have a beach house. I said, well, look, you don't have to be either one of those. You're welcome to come anytime. So you came out with her and your brother and a bunch of others we had, and we had a nice meal. And my son, he's a gourmet cook, we prepare a good meal. She enjoyed it out there, and we took pictures, which I just mailed some to you in the mail the other day, the ones that were taken on my sister's 87th birthday and on her 88th birthday. We had a wonderful time. But, you know, I would talk to her a lot about Jesus, and she had a heart bent toward God. She never rejected the gospel. And she knew that Jesus Christ came to die for us. And she said, if we put our faith and trust in Him alone, God will give us eternal life, because, you know, at this point of when we take our last breath, we don't have to say so long. We just say, I'll see you later. And that's what we'll see her one day in heaven, because she was a dear saint of God.
and we really loved her, and I know you did too, Al, and we appreciate being able to be here today and share our love for her with our hearts. May God bless each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Very good.
Fortunate one to be number one in Geri's family. At the time she came, we did really welcome her because of another diaper to change and bottles of feeder, cradles to rock her. We're lucky we've got 5 sisters and 2 brothers we have, but we're still lucky that we have. Frances is sick, she can't be here. Joe is the same thing, but the rest of us are. And we're here to share this with Al and Geri. We'll always miss her. Just bringing us some of her antiques or something, even though you had to maybe wash them a couple dozen sometimes, but she always, she gave you a lot, and we really appreciate it, and I thank everybody for coming to share it with us. You go first.
Hello, my name is Dennis Curatola, and I'm Steve Curatola's brother. And Aunt Geri's nephew. If there was any way that I could tell an angel, absolutely that they were an angel, through their works and through their kind deeds, through their attitude, and through their ability to actually transform a human being's life and everyone around that human being. That really would be my Aunt Geri. I also came upon hard times. I lost my family. I lost my home. I lost my business. I was out of gas, basically. My health went south. I no longer had the will to even stand up and move forward. And my Aunt Geri, she got onto it with me, and in several different ways and several different times. One time we were down at the one of the welfare offices, and I really didn't want to be there. I just wanted to walk out and not talk to the people, but I desperately needed to be able to get medical help. And she had focused that that's what we needed to do. And so we had a lot of homeless people coming in there, a lot of people that were on crack and winos, and all kinds of people happening, and it was becoming very, very bleak and very, very depressing, and the conversation slowed down between us. And then she leaned over on her purse. She looked at me, she said, "So, what do you think of this place?" We both started laughing, and that's the way Aunt Geri would deal with things. I started laughing to the point where I was crying, and then right about then, she got up and she walked towards the windows where people were ignoring, the people that were behind the windows that were to help the people were ignoring the people that they were to help. And Aunt Geri, within 5 minutes, they called us out, and Aunt Geri walked up to the woman that she was supposed to meet, and she said, "I can't believe, how do you do what you do? You must be going crazy." And the woman said, "Well, I don't know, it's just what my job is." And within a few minutes, this woman had turned from being an absolutely cynical person that hated other people to my advocate. And that was my Aunt Geri. She stuck with me. She stuck with me. She stuck with me like an angel. Same thing happened at USC, the dental clinic there. I would go down there for 10 or 12 hours. And again, I just couldn't go there and wait that long and go through all of that agony. She went down there, spoke to somebody. They called Michael Dennis Curatola, please come forward. You know, I came forward, they said, well, now you're in the special problems, you know, unit, USC, you don't have to wait anymore. Because I had 5 heart attacks, and, you know, diabetic, et cetera, et cetera. And then, the follow-up, in between then, Aunt Geri had sent all of the people, the people that cleaned my teeth, all of the people from the administration. She dropped off a whole slew of flowers, beautiful arrangements that she'd handmade for each one. When I walked into USC, the next time, I was treated like I was a star. And they were saying, oh, where's your Aunt Geri? I said, she's coming, she's coming. But her treatment of handling a situation, her ability with people, her ability to love, her ability to have faith in someone that really you couldn't have faith in, her ability to trust that the people on the other side of the desk would respond to her, just through absolute positive Aunt Geri. She could twist and turn and make things happen, but always for the good. She wanted everyone to feel good about themselves. And she brought, like the St. Francis of Assisi prayer, she brought light where there was darkness. She brought joy where there was sadness. She brought hope where there was no hope. And she did that every day. And I loved her very much. I love her very much. And I hope I've said it the right way, Aunt Geri. I could never say it like you'd say it, but, you know, that's it.